We can just replace the Ness's video feed with the picture.
Yeah, Ness. Just put up the meme and then Ness talk.
Yeah, so about this pay-per-view.
But the last person who was scared to get handcuffed to Lex Luger didn't turn out well for her.
Oh shit. I don't want to laugh. I'm gonna cover my face when I laugh.
Dark side.
I'll cover you now.
Dark side of the ring continues.
Dark side of True Rewind. I don't know why I'm golden and again the golden child. It must be the golden hour. I got really orange there for a second. Here I go. You can find me True Heel Romeo on Twitter and Instagram. Tonight, where's the difference?
Awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh my God.
I can't. I'm losing it.
On this week's True Rewind, it is In Your House number 8. Beware of dog, and also beware of bad weather. Romeo, SB3, Drunk Guy JJ, and Sat E. This is True Rewind.
This is True Rewind. This is True Rewind. This is True Rewind. This is True Rewind.
This is True Rewind. This is True Rewind.
Don't adjust your sets. We are back in the DeLorean. Pump up the flux capacitor for another edition, episode 56 of True Rewind. This is where me and the good brothers, we go back in time to the Monday Night Wars, and we usually review WWF Raw, WCW Nitro, and we let you know what was the better show for the week. But this time, we will be reviewing one of the most infamous WWE pay-per-views of all time, WWF In Your House number 8, Beware of Dog. There is a lot to unpack from this edition, so let's get right to it and introduce this esteemed panel that we have here. He is usually the driver of the DeLorean, the pilot himself, the ace in the face of the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, Mr. Romeo Anthony Cologne.
Go Ace! Go Ace! As we
Hey,
go
Marc.
around introducing ourselves, I just want to know how the weather is in your area. Do we expect any interruptions? Let me know. It's nice and sunny here in beautiful Brooklyn, New York.
Hey, we already had lights cutting out for one of our guests on True Hill Heat this past week, so I hope it is not a beware of dog situation on this edition. But right below me, you have none other than the supreme Ivan Ooze. He even had to go and get his supreme headband, Drunk Guy JJ.
It is finally good to be back. Of course, I am back on a show that is all over the place because this is what I do. And blackout. Oh God. I don't know what to do. I don't know.
First one of the show. First one of the show already.
Yeah,
And
be back.
since it's a pay-per-view, you know we love to have a special guest, and I had to throw in the big guns here. You might have seen him from Wrestling Daily. He has one of the better Twitter pages in all of wrestling media, so definitely go out of your way to follow him right after this live stream here. He is my Mocha Monday tag team partner, so you can see us later today on the Wrestling Daily YouTube channel talking about the latest wrestling news, but he's in the DeLorean with us this time. He is not your usual Mommy Niangi's baby boy. He is the monster heel, Sat E.
Yeah! Sat E, baby. Monster Hill. Look, I have to go in with the nicknames. Thank you so much for inviting me into your house. And I'm here like NWO to take over with consent. Sat E. The E stands for encore, because we're doing an encore presentation of something that happened in the year 1996. I was 6 years old. SB3 was 8. Romeo, what age were you when the show came out?
21.
12.
Romeo's was about 50 or I don't know. He's like Benjamin Button. He goes back in time. He's like reverting back. He gets
Drunk
younger.
guy JJ. I know you weren't drinking alcohol back then. What age were you when the show came
I
out?
had alcohol in my baby bottle.
He had like the 40-ounce Arizonas back in those days. Like he used to drink those like they were 40. So yeah, that's what he used to do.
Yo, thanks for allowing me to come on your show. Thank you for letting me make my debut. I was like how Matt Rudy used that word debut because there is a T at the end. You know what I'm saying?
I was just about to say that's how they say debut over there. But
yeah. No. Listen, in the UK we keep it proper. Hey, make a debut, sir. Give me a cup of tea. I'm British. I do a shit accent. How's that?
That was actually pretty good. That was actually it's definitely better than my Irish accent, which I tried to do with Alex on Wednesday. So you did better than me.
I want to hear your Irish accent.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Close enough.
That's the best I can do. That's the best I can do. But yes, if you're joining us on the YouTube channel, on Twitter or Facebook, drop a like on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. There is much to enjoy. There's a whole playlist, a whole playback of True Rewind episodes. If you want to go in chronological order from the start of the Monday Night Wars, we are in May of 1996. A lot of things come out of this pay-per-view on both sides of the Monday Night War. So it's time to become a subscriber, become a follower of True Rewind, and come along in the DeLorean with us and go back in time. And of course, if you're watching us live, we want to hear your thoughts in the live stream, the live chat here. We got a bunch of our favorites joining us. We got a certified hustler here with us. Fast forward already. We also got Matt J. Hendricks. He was sort of at the show. Oh, interesting. I like it. He also said, I hope so. He also says the other matches that had to be reshot because of the power outage was part of a WWF Superstars taping that they just added into the pay-per-view replay. I was at the North Charleston portion of Beware of Dog. He arguably got the better half of this pay-per-view in a lot of ways. But yes,
that's saying a lot.
Not saying a lot, but we got to say it. And of course, if you're watching us on replay, let us know in the comment section below what you thought about In Your House, Beware of Dog, or how you think about our review. Let us know. And of course, we want to highlight all your comments in the live chat, but a super chat donation is the way to make sure. We want to hear your hot takes. We want to hear your opinions on In Your House number 8, Beware of Dog, from May 26, 1996. So super chat donation of $1 or more is greatly appreciated. But as per usual, I'm going to pass the rock over to the connoisseur of reporting, Mr. Romeo Anthony Colon. Take it away.
May 26, 1996, from Florence, South Carolina, and Charleston, South Carolina. We'll explain that later. This is the only WWE pay-per-view event ever to be held in South Carolina. So nice. They did it twice.
Absolutely. How nice of them.
I see why.
They earned $63,000 in ticket sales and an attendance of 6K. All right, we start Triple H and his lady, Hunter S. Helmsley, and this lady. Oh man, a lot to talk about. Before the commentary
about the lady.
Yes, we got to talk about this lady. I'm sorry. I put in my notes that is Triple H's auntie. He brought his. It was take your auntie to work day, and Triple H decided he was going to take his auntie to work.
Guys,
bring your mother to work.
I put in my notes, too old for Lola, because Lola's bigging her up doing commentary over Sable. Like, look at this woman right here, McMahon. Look at this woman right here, McMahon. She's class personified. Wow, look at her. Yeah, she's awesome. I'm like, Lola, you've never been a woman like that since you what in the 1970s? She hasn't touched a woman like that. He's probably asking her, how's your daughter doing? How old is she? She's 15. She'll do.
Bro, that looked like Jerry K. Lawler's cousin or something. Like they look related in my eyes.
Dang, she's like a
Holy
meth
shit,
head in this
that's,
picture. Jesus.
What you said?
She's like a meth head in this picture. Jesus.
Who looks like a meth head?
Yo.
Sweet Jesus.
You guys may not notice, but that's Moolah and Mae Young in the front.
I did notice that. I did
I'll
notice
speak to
that.
Dang,
Might
good
as well be,
observation,
there
Romeo. Right?
Anyway, here's a picture of Sable. Make us feel better.
In my notes, I put down Sable looks like she's dressed as a dom.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Even had the whip.
Definitely.
Dressed as a dom. I don't think WWE knew what they were doing because they were trying to make her like the second coming of Miss Elizabeth, but dressed as a dom. So it was a bit confusing. Now, like I'm a bit older, I'm a bit like, the presentation's a bit off because she wasn't acting like a dom, but she's dressed like one. She had the whips and stuff like that. And Paul Mark Mero still trying to figure out what his character is. Wild man. What is the wild man? Are you from the jungle or are you like doing sexy fangs? That's what you call the wild man. You know, that's the issue.
I mean, to be fair, it's better than Marvelous Mark Mero.
What? Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Wait, you don't like Marvelous Mark Mero?
I like the nickname Wild Man more than Marvelous. I don't know. That's just me. Maybe it's just me, but I prefer Wild Man more. I just said last week that he would have been better off if WWF would have flipped the bill and get John Moxley's theme song Wild Thing. It would have made everything come together with Sable doing her non-dance moves to it. It would have been great.
But
Right?
the dance was you just gave her 50 pence, and then she's like,
Yeah, that little gyration thing.
like her gyration was like the embodiment of her charisma, lack thereof. But yeah, Marvelous Mark Mero is his best work in the WWF. That's what I
His
think.
best work, but not the nickname. I'm just talking about the
His finishing
nickname.
move was called the Marvelocity.
Oh my God, that is a fact I didn't want to know.
When he did shooting star press, he called it Marvelocity. That works. Guys, Romeo, come on. Someone back me up on that. It's better than what I think he called the shooting star press the wild thing back then.
That's perfect.
That works. Wild thing works.
Wild Thing works. It's a wild man.
Marvelocity. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm hijacking this. Did you guys do? Sorry, Romeo, you're the man in charge.
It's fine.
We love the
Let's
energy.
talk about the
We love
match.
it.
Did you guys
We
do
always-
any star ratings? Because I just did star ratings. I went too far.
That's great.
I went too far.
Yeah,
in.
you knew what to
This
do.
guy.
It's like you're one of the family members. You could just go right to the refrigerator. You don't have to ask.
Reheat it. Get a second plate. Don't even ask. Just get right in the pan.
Our house is your
I
house.
appreciate
You're
it,
in
man.
our house.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. So, what do you guys think of the match?
Trash, stupid ending. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I mean, you pretty much said my thoughts there.
That match was garbage. It was what it was. The ending was terrible. Oh
what?
my God!
I like that ending, by the way.
The catapult to the turnbuckle. No, that's not how you end the match.
Yes,
Terrible.
that should be how you
How-
end matches.
No.
In 1996, that's kind of how it was. Romeo, you want to tell the folks watching the details on this match?
They did show on Superstars that Triple H pedigreed Mero, and then backstage, Doc Hendricks reasonably asked Mero what his defensive strategy will be to come up with to avoid getting hit with the pedigree by a third time. And Mero has no proper response, just says it's time to answer the call of the wild and welcome to the jungle. Also, Vince said there's some wild storms in the area, and if they leave us, it won't be for long.
Oh boy, that would come back to haunt them very much so.
I thought King had a great line here saying the reason Mero takes Sable everywhere is so he doesn't have to kiss her goodbye. Hunter gets upset with Sable because she won't look at him hitting a pedigree on Mero, goes it outside to grab her and tell her to watch. Mero slingshots Hunter to the ring post for the win in 16:22. Hunter distracted equals dirty finish. I gave this 2.25 stars. Meltzer, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, gave this 3 stars. Sit.
I was so fucking drunk again.
I'm not gonna front. I thought that this was smartly worked with what it was supposed to do. You know, Triple H controlled most of the match, working over the arm of Marc Mero, and then Marc Mero came back. He had a good comeback in this matchup. Then he botches landing on his dive that he missed Triple H on, and tweaks his knee. We think that's gonna play into the finish, but it doesn't really, because Triple H is so focused on Sable denying him. He's never had a woman deny him. You know, you remember that's the reason why Stephanie couldn't leave him for Kurt Angle in 2000, because why would any woman pick anyone over Triple H? Of course not. But it made sense.
Story of his career.
It made sense. That's been the story of this whole feud, is that he is so upset that Sable turned him down to go with Marc Mero. So him being distracted made sense. And then the finish was the finish. It was not the best finish, but it was what it was. I gave this 2 3/4 stars.
I gave it 2.5, guys. I'm with you in that. So basically, you said how Triple H controlled early on. I feel like that was the down point in the match, because I feel like looking at the match, you could tell an old agent from the 1970s constructed a match together, because it was a lot more slow than I'm used to. Triple H is very methodical in the ring. No one can ever say that he's a very fast-paced technical wrestler. He likes to take his time, but it was so slow. For me, the enjoyment of the match is when Marc Mero's doing them hope spots, them comebacks, them pin combos, them head scissors. That's when I was getting into the match, because at least the match was picking up pace. But each time Triple H was controlling the match, I was like, oh man, this is so long. It felt long. I like methodical, but it doesn't also help the fact that the crowd was acting like they were in Japan and just sitting on their hands, because it was I think that the lack of crowd engagement, kind of hurt the match a bit. But I feel like Mero's stuff, because you always hear how Marc Mero gets made fun of, that he wasn't a great worker, and I always get confused. I feel I'm getting gaslit. I'm like, this guy is decent I feel there's a reason why Johnny B. Bad opened so many pay-per-views in WCW, because he got the crowd going. This before the cruiserweights became the go-to thing. I think, for me, Marc Mero is underrated in the ring, and for me, had more exciting movesets than Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Because for me, he omitted anti-charisma. He had no charisma in the ring. This guy needed, HBK to find his charisma. But back then, I was like, dude, you're so boring. I didn't see anything for him. Future world champion? No.
I don't really hear too many people criticize Marc Mero's work in the ring. It's more of his character, because like we just went into a whole rant about for a good 5 minutes. Wild Man, Marvelous, even Johnny B. Bad weren't the most charismatic people. And so yeah, I mean, I think that's where it comes from. I think anyone who translate that into he wasn't a good worker just didn't watch, to be honest.
Right. Absolutely.
No, you know what I'm saying? Because I listened to a lot of the podcast with Conrad Thompson. Like, Eric Bischoff kind of say he wasn't really, and even Bruce Pritchard sometimes is saying that, what he lacked in the ring kind of made up for charisma, because the whole joke is that Vince McMahon thought he booked Johnny B. Bad, but he booked the guy behind the character, and he's like, oh shit, what do we do with this guy? We can't get rights to Johnny B. Bad. What are we gonna do? So they had to. You're from the jungle, So he didn't know what he was doing. He tweaked his his character. If you watch subsequently, because you guys are covering 986, you see how he's trying to find his character, just couldn't get in the groove. He just didn't know he didn't understand the assignment. But in the ring, he was decent. Unfortunately, his woman will get over more than him when he's gone for the knee injury. But I feel like he did okay in 96. It's kind of a funny story that Marc Mero experiment in 96. But yeah, I feel like the match was better when Mero was doing the hope spots, but you're just shitting in the ending. I thought the ending's realistic. You can get knocked out by a steel post. No,
I mean,
not a padded steel post.
It's just because of all the work they did in the match for that to be the finish. I think that's why we're criticizing the finish more than anything.
It was lights out. I think in a weird way, it kind of protected Triple H in a way. Like, he got knocked out. It wasn't decisive, or it was decisive. It's kind of weird. You can call it decisive because he's knocked out, but also not decisive because if I wasn't knocked out, I would have kicked out. But it's kind of like I got overshot. You can say they got overshot, and then,
folks, if you're keeping track of the score, Triple H is now 0-1 since the curtain call. Yes, how long the streak goes.
We're only 1 week after the curtain call, and it's already starting. Drunk Guy, do you have any thoughts on the match?
2 1/4. As you said, Triple H was slow, corny. I did not like the finish at all. It's funny you brought up the part like they didn't even go into selling the whole knee thing when he did the spot, because it's funny thing about it, when he rolled back in the ring, he ended up grabbing the wrong knee to sell. Yep. So it just dropped. So I just dropped it. But yeah, a mat opener.
Wrestling Observer newsletter. Apparently, more WWF top stars are talking about leaving to go to WCW. Word is, Vince McMahon offered Marc Mero and Brian Pillman big money deals, possibly even guaranteed deals. And there are many in WWF who have been top stars there and elsewhere who don't like the idea of making less than those two. Yep. Mick Foley has been really open about this. Marc Mero apparently got some crazy guaranteed big money deal, and Foley was pretty pissed about making so much less than him.
Imagine that. Motherfucking Mero making more than Mick Foley. Way
Yeah,
more than Mick Foley.
96. It makes sense because think about this. In 1986, yeah, Mick Foley at the time, you know, he was still trying. He had to prove himself. In Vince's mind, Marc Mero proved himself in WCW. Got the body. In terms of what he looks for, Marc Mero is more skewed towards being a sports entertainer than most wrestlers in WCW. So he had the look. He had the physical charisma. In his mind, he's like, it's almost like when he plucked Diamond Stud and Vinny Vegas. Because it's kind of like, what? Diamond Stud and Vinny Vegas are making more money than me? That's because Vince thought that he can turn this mid-carder into the next big act. Like we just mentioned, the only issue was he didn't get the gimmick. He got the guy behind the gimmick. They could have gave him something different. Apparently later on, I read up in 1988, they wanted to repackage him as a Liberace kind of character, which would have worked, but he, you know, left with his wife.
Basically Johnny B. Bad.
Too late.
But it's kind of what Vince saw in the guys before they came to WWF, because like you said, he was very high on Johnny B. Bad and thought he was signing Johnny B. Bad, and then he gets Marc Mero. And with Mick Foley, Jim Ross had to basically beg him to sign Mick Foley. If you can believe that, ladies and gentlemen, Vince McMahon hated Mick Foley, a guy that would go on to make him a lot of money during the Attitude Era. He hated him with a passion.
Some might say he still does. Backstage, Mr. Perfect with Bulldog.
Definitely now.
Diana Hart, Owen Hart, Jim Cornette, and a very injured Clarence Mason. The Slammy Award-winning Owen Hart, the now in 2021 All-Elite Owen Hart, has procured a South Carolina managing license to accompany Bulldog tonight.
Wonderful. It must be very easy to get a manager's license.
That's crazy. Owen Hart's been gone for 22 years and he's still making history. He got signed to another wrestling company, not even here. What a fucking legend.
Legend.
Do you not think, like, for me, every time I see Clarence Mason, he's for me like the dark cloud that was looming over Camp Cornette? Because you know that eventually...
Dark cloud, pun intended. Pun intended.
No pun intended. I forgot he was black there for 2 seconds. I wasn't thinking about that. My face was saying it. He was the black cloud. If we're saying that, he's the black cloud looming over Camp Cornette. Because he eventually takes away Bulldog and Owen Hart. And that was like the beginning of the end of Camp Cornette, because Jim Cornette only had Vader left, and eventually he disappears and Paul Bearer becomes Vader's manager. I feel like it was a diminishing return when you had Paul Bearer become Vader's manager. But yeah, for me, it's a dark cloud looming, because he wasn't even a great manager for Bulldog and Owen. Let's be free.
But can you put that picture up again? Can you put that picture up again, Romeo? This dead looks like the real life version of a grown up South Park cast. You got you got Clarence Mason as Token. You got British Bulldog as Stan. You got Owen Hart as Kyle. I shouldn't call him Mr. Perfect Kenny, but Jim Cornette is Butters.
It got really dark. Speaking of dark clouds.
What did you guys think about Clarence Mason managing Bulldog and Owen? It was a waste of time, and it was a downgrade from Jim Cornette.
He wasn't really the manager. He wasn't really the manager. He was the lawyer. He was the lawyer.
Yeah, but Jim Cornette. You guys are not there yet. I'm sorry. I'm from the future. I'm about to tell you guys. I hate to break it to you. Alert. Yeah, like Clarence Mason's gonna swindle Owen and Davey away from Jim Cornette, and then after a while. That relationship fizzles after a couple of months, and his Nation of Domination.
Spoiler! We're going up to DeLorean. 1997.
I got a smooth almanac, guys.
Saeed took the driver's wheel and went 120 miles an hour.
We're gonna call him Biff E. He's Biff. He's Biff from Back in the Future.
Yeah, brother. I seen the future.
He thought he was Brian Pillman on them pills that night.
Dark clouds.
Don't get in the car.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Really though, when you get there, you remember my words. It was a waste of time. It didn't really do much for him.
Vince McMahon says thank you for your patience. And we thank you, the viewer, watching True Rewind now, for your patience. What a storm outside. Bulldog's music plays, and we go straight to the main event. What is going on? Vince says Tuesday night, an encore, and all the matchups you missed will take place.
They edited this very badly on the
shit out of
WWE Network. It was
very bad.
It was very bad. It's just massive amount of confusion watching this.
All they did
I
was
had to use someone
they
butting
kept-
in here and explaining what's going on, what really happened. You know,
I
like
had to hop.
we'll do it.
I had to hop on Wikipedia and I was confused. I was like, did I accidentally skip the match forward? Because I've seen it before, but it's been a while, and I was like, wait, is Ahmed Johnson versus Jerry Lawler? What, there was Godwin's tag team title match. So
That
it
was
got
the free
confusing.
fall.
That was on the
that was free fall.
Yeah,
That was free
Where
fall.
are the titles? Where
Yeah,
they
I know they mentioned it, but my favorite thing is Diana Hart-Smith oozing that charisma, right, guys? I know
You know you want me, Shawn. Look at that! Look at that! Look at the most charismatic person on the screen.
The most charismatic
in the background. Hold on, a trophy. Mr. All Elite from the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Early on in the show, the power went out for an hour due to a bad storm in the area. The show was off the air on pay-per-view for 25 minutes before Lawler and Vince came back on, telling viewers to stay tuned. Matches were continuing in the arena and would air on the 528 replay. But the power stayed off so long that when it returned, they only had time for this match, the main event. While the power was out, they used battery-operated cameras and used a generator to be able to barely light the ring, so even people in the crowd could barely see the matches. They did no ring introductions, no entrances. Because none of the footage was usable due to the lighting, they decided to just redo the matches live on Tuesday night in a different city for the replay.
So I feel so bad for the people that were there live.
That must-
Like,
that
Yeah,
must
refunds.
suck.
Where's my money? Give me my money back.
exactly. I want my refunds, and I know they had to give refunds to the pay-per-view
Order it,
audience
Oh yeah,
for sure.
But they had to reorder the pay-per-view to see it on Wednesday?
Tuesday.
Or
Yeah.
On Tuesday? Oh boy.
I'm sure at that time they didn't even have a feature to even like, hey, switch this over for you guys on Tuesday. There's no way in hell.
They should have just done this on Raw as a make good.
Yeah, I mean the WCW learned this lesson the hard way with Halloween Havoc 1998 when they cut off Goldberg and Diamond Dallas Page. I told you, Sat went too fast. He went too fast, and he speed up.
Hit a time warp.
What's going on?
Time hole.
So yes, this happens, but yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough because they lost a bunch of money. They had to lose a bunch of money on this night.
That 63,000 ticket gate done.
Talk entrance with Shawn and Jose Lothario. Shawn says, "Beware the dog." I don't think so. Beware the click. And then he runs into Mr. Perfect. If I'm not mistaken, this is setting up a feud that never happens.
Yeah, basically.
And Matt J. Hendricks says no, WWF gave away the pay-per-view replay for free for those who bought the pay-per-view. Thank you.
Fair.
Thank you for that
Fair
information. That's
That's
fair.
fair.
That's fair. It makes sense.
All right, so it's time for Shawn versus Bulldog for a WWF Championship. Vince McMahon says Shawn's Playgirl feature is just an interview. He thinks. Clarence Mason on the mic says Shawn ruined a happy home. Serve Shawn a
That's a shoot. That's a shoot.
The Rockers did, man. If you hear the stories about the Rockers,
Oh,
H-bombing
boy.
women.
Oh,
they were talking on
boy.
commentary about Marty Jannetty. Serve Shawn a summons.
Look
as a
at
defendant-
charisma. Look at them acting chops.
Leaking charisma.
Blinking.
Shawn is now a defendant for attempted alienation of affection, which I've never heard of before.
What the hell is that?
That's
What
that's
the hell?
made up.
I put that notes as well. Alienation of affection. What?
Attempted alienation of affection. So he didn't alienate affections. He attempted to.
No, but that sounds like what a woman would put down if she's dumping her husband. Alienation of affection. That's why I'm dumping this guy. Not a guy trying to tempt alienation of affection. That's like cock blocking. That's like cock blocking.
It's kind of like he's saying that Diana Smith was affectionate with Shawn Michaels, but he alienated her affection. I think that's totally not what the story was.
We're
It's a-
losing
it's a
brain cells
Vinceism.
trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
It's a McMahonism. You can tell Vince wrote it down. It's alienation.
These brain cells are having a power outage right now. Jesus Christ.
See you in the court of law where justice is swift and hard. Well, Shawn rips up the subpoena. Onward to the match. There's a ref bump where Bulldog just steamrolls the hell out of him.
Yes.
Felt bad for that.
100 miles an hour. Owen Hart gets super kicked trying to interfere. So much for that managing license. There's a new ref. Shawn slips out of Bulldog's power slam finisher, pushing Bulldog into the turnbuckle. German suplex with the bridge for the pin. A huge pop. But wait, what the hell is going on? Bulldog's music plays. And the ref raises his hand, awards him the title, huge celebration, and new 17 minutes, 19 seconds. But wait, Earl Hebner comes back in the ring. Well, I thought he was knocked out. Raises Shawn Michaels' hand, and then Shawn's music plays. Diana leaves with the championship belt upside down.
Oh, that charisma.
As a fan tries to hit her with some kind of
like the poster board. Hit
Guys,
the belt out
you know how weird this thing is? I feel like she was purposely blank staring because there's times when she wanted to laugh. She was just look at her mouth. She wants to laugh so bad.
Yes.
You think
she's trying to be serious?
Isn't an agent told her, just look serious, damn it. Don't you dare smile. Show that heart charisma.
She probably want to slap the shit out of that fan.
I would too. What was he thinking?
Yo, mad immature.
Shout
Gorilla.
out to Diana Hart-Smith. She actually follows me on Twitter. She was like one of the first wrestling people to follow me years ago before I started doing this.
Look at that.
So I have respect for her, and
we got
I'm always mindful. Listen, I'm always mindful to never say anything bad about David Boy Smith or anything like that because she follows me. I don't know if she know. Yeah, lovely lady. She follows me. I was like, yo, thank you.
You're practically a part of the
interviewed
Smith family.
SP3, who we got the interview on the channel of with Bulldog's daughter?
Yes, we interviewed Bulldog's daughters. She's amazing as well. We talked to her before Bulldog got inducted into the Hall of Fame. So yes, we got the whole family connection here.
Question:
speaking of family,
did you ask the hard questions? Did she date Jay Lethal for a bit during the pandemic?
I actually know that she did, so I didn't ask that question because her and my wife were actually really good friends. So I actually did know that information, so I didn't need to ask it.
So I will assume they're no longer a thing, right? They're no longer a thing.
They're definitely no longer a thing. She has a new boo in her life. I think we're pulling back the curtain too much into 2021. But hey, go ahead, go over and follow her on Instagram, and you can see.
I do, but I follow a lot of people. I literally, when I got Instagram for 2 seconds, I'm like, all right, cool, boring. Right, back to Twitter. Literally, all the fun I have is on Twitter with you guys.
This is a smooth transition because speaking of family, Uncle Gino, our Uncle Gino, your Uncle Gino.
Uncle Gino!
You piece of trash.
Tells Diana, give me that fucking belt. He talks to the refs. They show a replay. I don't know about you guys, but Shawn's shoulders are clearly up.
Yes, they are.
Before they were up.
Yes, they are.
Shawn's. They are not down. They are not down.
Bulldog did do the whole.
Bulldog. Okay, Bulldog does like a little twitch.
Twitch.
Little twitch.
Another
not really coming. Not really. That's what she said. They think explains the gorilla declares this is a draw. And still, because titles don't change hands on draws, dirty finish. Shawn awarded the belt pending a rematch. And I gave this 2.25 stars. Meltz gave this 2.5. What say you, Seti?
Wow. So this is the first time I went actually high. I gave this match a 3 for the simple fact that it was a palate cleanser for that dud that was Triple H and Marc Mero match. For me, it's like Shawn Michaels started off the match hot. And weirdly, for a babyface, he dominated the match as well, which I was quite shocked about. But when Bulldog came into it, he did a lot of power moves. He did the Beal. He did, all his typical Bulldog power moves. So for me, because the fact the match was a bit fast-paced than the last one, I was a bit more forgiving and gave it a 3. Because I was like, you know what? It's better than the last match, which was slow as AF or slow as fuck, as you can say here.
Drunk guy?
Here you go.
You know what's crazy? Like listen to what he just said. It just like...
Oh,
he's probably getting a phone call or something. What happened? You still there?
He's
muted.
muted now. You're muted now.
Even though it doesn't show you're muted.
Yeah, it doesn't show you're muted at all.
Why don't you
You get a new one of that.
exit out and come back in? SP3, what did you think?
I thought that this match was fine. This wasn't the Shawn Michaels we have grown to love in 1996, where he's having great matches like we saw at WrestleMania. We saw at Rage in the Cage. We saw last month at Good Friends, Better Enemies. He was really off his game, especially on that part where they're running the ropes and he trips up and he flies out of the ring. That was not a planned spot. I don't care what anybody tells me. That's not a planned spot. He totally missed time his footing and just flew out the under the bottom rope, and yeah, he started selling it because I guess at that point it was time for him to sell. But this didn't seem like the Shawn Michaels that we have all grown to love.
Can I tell you why?
Why?
From the Wrestling Observer newsletter,
there we go.
Shawn Michaels was very upset through temper tantrums because his 30-minute match was shortened to 18 minutes.
Ooh, he was pissed. He was pissed. He was like, I thought I was gonna go in there and have a classic with
not
Bulldog.
understanding the circumstances of the night.
Blame the weather.
I think Shawn Michaels is the most reasonable person, especially in this time and era. Come on. But yeah, I mean, I agree with Sat. I gave it 3 stars because although Shawn was a little bit off, these are 2 exceptional workers and they made the match work for what it was. The finish was the finish, but it sets up another rematch for King of the Ring. So all's well that ends well. Drunk guy?
Man, all this fucking power outage today is just crazy.
Oh man,
I cut the screen back on. It fucking sound like a goddamn demon is talking to me through the headphones.
That's happened to me before.
Yo, that shit's mad creepy. I'm like, what the
shit's
fuck?
crazy.
Damn.
Well, we can hear you now.
Yeah, Pillman must not like my joke.
Somewhere MJF is smiling watching True Rewind.
I'm just saying. All right. Well, what I was piggyback.
There you go, right there.
That's foul, mate.
Oh, you're giving me too much. You're giving me too much credit. But piggybacking off of what I forgot this guy name already. Don't kill me.
Sat.
What he said, yeah, Sat E. There you go. I didn't want to say Saturday. Sat E. What he said, it made me think. Every time the babyface champion has like dominates the match for like title matches, it's always a shit finish. Like it just made me start thinking, like, damn. So every time a babyface champion dominates the match is never ends well. The match wasn't that good. The crowd, for obvious reasons, wasn't really that into it. They clearly were sitting on their asses for like 2 hours before
in the dark.
Before it went back on. Yeah, in the dark. And then the finish. Like I understand this is booked this way before the night started, but it's like. How do you come back on air after the fans missed everything to then have to sit there and watch and then see that?
That is a great point.
That is
a great point. You wait through all that, you come back, and you give them that finish.
But 2 1/4, definitely Shawn's worst match I think we've seen on pay-per-view since we started this. Yeah.
Only on pay-per-view, yeah.
Yeah, definitely pay-per-view, not regular TV.
Al Snow.
Yes, yeah.
Leaf Cassidy, yeah.
Leaf Cassidy, excuse me. I'm sorry, Al Snow. If you want to separate your personalities. And let me know what you think about this point. We may disagree, we may not. But I really enjoyed the King and Vince banter. King was just so annoying as a heel, just shitting on Shawn Michaels, that I thought it added to the match, making you root for Shawn as a babyface just to see King get mad at the end. And sometimes King is really corny with his jokes, but sometimes he's really effective like this.
Yeah. He needs that good chemistry. You know, when the person's on, they're on. So he just needs that right thing. Like he's great at shitting on Shawn Michaels. He is great. Between that and Brett, those 2, he is great at that. Yeah. Other than that,
right.
Yeah. For me, it's kind of this is one trope I kind of disliked a bit back in the days. It's because before he became a babyface, King was a huge fan of Shawn Michaels, huge fan of him on commentary before he turned babyface, and then he turns heel. I like some sort of character development. I like the fact when Bret Hart turns heel, like Jerry Lawler doesn't become a huge fan of his. He just like is a bit reasonable on heel tactics because you can't be a two-face about that, but he's still in like Bret Hart. And what made me laugh about you, because you mentioned commentary about Lawler and Shawn Michaels, even though he was shitting on him, at one point he went, "Yeah, McMahon, me and HBK, you know, two good-looking men, women like to flock to, you know, men like us." I was like,
that was great. I loved it.
I love
Lawler,
that. I did love
Lawler,
that.
you tend to go after
Can't turn him down.
children. You know,
Oh,
like
man.
he likes to be a little bit young. You know, you just come out your training, bro. Come on, girl.
Oh man.
And we know Shawn likes kissing kids, so hey.
Oh boy,
So,
I mean, we've seen it.
so,
We've
you've
seen
it.
they get along. They would get along, especially.
What up, Tyler?
They be their own tag team of
They'd
the Chris
they'd have a
Chris
great
Hansen's
night.
favorites.
Exactly. They have a great night in Rochester.
Oh.
Is that your cousin? Is that your mother?
From the Wrestling Observer newsletter,
Oh boy.
Here we go.
the plan for the Shawn Michaels, Davey Boy Smith, Diana Hart storyline was supposed to be the big reveal that Diana was trying to seduce Shawn and he turned her down. But word on the block is, I added on the block, that wasn't Dave. Neither Diana or Davey Boy were comfortable with that. So that won't happen now. And in parentheses, yeah, Diana later confirmed that in her book, she said she now regrets not going along with the plan.
Ooh,
Damn.
interesting.
That doesn't work for me,
And-
brother.
That was a shoot earlier, huh? That really was a shoot.
Moving on.
Guys, just quickly,
Go ahead.
Romeo, do you think that if she went along with the storyline, that would have made her become like one of the three women, or four women? So you got Sunny, Sable, Terry, and the fourth blonde would have been Diana Hart-Smith. Because I feel like that was like a trial period for her to prove herself on screen. Had she done that storyline, do you think she would have been rewarded with a much more increased on-screen presence in Davey Boy's career?
I think so. Yeah.
I
I mean,
I don't think Bulldog wanted her to be there full time, and
Why?
I wouldn't think
gotta think about that,
Brett. I wouldn't think Brett would want her there full
You
time
think
as
Bulldog
well.
didn't want her there for sunny
Well-
days? He wanted some sunny days, and he just
Well,
didn't
yeah,
want
of
to crack
course.
his style.
Bulldog can't cheat and do drugs if he got his wife. with him.
well, this episode is crazy,
It's the
man.
Wait, you know what?
Yeah,
I don't
you're
wanna-
right.
You know what?
But
I
it's
don't want to
still
do any
crazy.
Bulldog slander. You know what? I apologize. The fact that Georgia Smith has been here, I don't want to see this and she thinks I'm slandering her dad. He's one of my favorite guys ever. Like, I'm not even, you know what? I love the Hart family. I love British Bulldog.
I
I'm
love the
gonna
Hart
stop that.
family as
Yeah,
well.
I'm
Georgia
gonna
was
stop that.
great.
I'm gonna stop.
Georgia
Me
was
too.
great, but my God, the thoughts and comments of Drunk Guy JJ are not the thoughts and comments of True Hill Heat.
Jesus,
Or-
you just recited the cold open for Rated Raw Superstars tonight. Oh my God. Word for word. Word for word. I'm going to hear that again on today, Monday. You're going to hear that again if you're watching True Hill Heat.
Listen, I enjoy the Hart family very much. Some things are true when you're on the road and you like to get high. Things happen. I'm not judging. I'm just
Moving
saying,
on.
I'm sure.
When you like to get high.
Moving on, guys. We cut to The Wear of Dog 2 with Mr. Perfect and Jim Ross on commentary from Charleston, South Carolina. Hey, we're moving on. And it's Steve Austin versus Savio Vega, Caribbean strap match. This is the second time in 48 hours they have wrestled because they did it the first night in the dark.
Pause.
This looks terrible.
They were whipping each other. Those whips in the dark, right? Whipping.
I don't know why they bothered. Then we get a clip from Monday Night Raw, which we still have to watch. We haven't watched yet.
They just gave it away for
God.
us. They gave away like a little I want to say at least 50% of this Monday
Oh,
Night
yeah.
Raw episode.
Yeah, they gave
that we
away
had.
all the important shit. Yeah, all the important shit they gave away.
DiBiase said if Austin loses this match, he will quit WWF. Why would you volunteer that for no reason?
Guys, can we just do an obituary of $1 Million Man's manager? Because I wrote down in my notes in the beginning. Because when it was on the screen and he offered that, I said I wrote down $1 Million Man, great wrestling character, but an inept manager. 'Cause he
Oh.
was
Basically.
it's quite hard. I love $1 Million Man. $1 Million Corporation had a weird soft spot in my heart, but Camp Cornette over $1 Million Corporation, because I feel like $1 Million Man is like a bumbling manager. He's what people think Taz is with Team Taz, or what Big Money Matt.
But Taz is
with
effective.
Big O.
Taz is effective. He cuts great promos, and he gave birth to the greatest professional wrestler of all time, Hook.
Oh
Hook,
man.
because I'm a hooker.
Here we
I'm a hooker. I'm
go.
repping for the hookers.
I'm a
I'm
hooker.
repping. So I just realized after AE Ramble yesterday, and Romeo can attest, I'm actually a hooker and a hobbit. I'm actually a hobbit as well. Those are for your powerhouse Hobbs fans. You could be a hooker and you could be a hobbit.
Man, you're gonna have to make a
H&H.
sign for Wednesday.
Yeah, Romeo, what do you think of $1
Okay,
Million Man as a
Hobbit.
manager? What do you think of him overall? His career from 94 to 96.
Probably not as good as his career as a wrestler. Definitely entertaining, but even this year in NXT with Cameron Grimes, like at least that was funny. That was good.
That was much better than probably his entire run in the
Which is hilarious
Corporation.
because Cameron Grimes had to become a butler, and the stipulation for this match was that Savio had to become a chauffeur if he lost.
$1 Million Man loves his bets that involve people doing manual.
Yeah, I know,
labor.
right? Weird.
And it paid off finally after 20 years. It finally paid off. But before we begin, I do want to say that for me, his best performance as a manager for me was this match. That and WrestleMania with Bam Bam Bigelow in the ending, because you saw him just, he gets emotionally involved in the match whenever mistakes were being made. I feel it was more alive than he's ever been, because usually when he's out there, he doesn't really do much for me outside in the ring. But this time, he's all like animated. I'm like, where was this fire throughout your 2 years as a manager?
He should have put his career on the line every single night.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, you could see the damage on Steve Austin's chest from that strap match.
Yep.
Yeah.
48, and he has to go and do this again, even probably worse. I don't think they did it on the first night. They did it.
No, apparently a lot of people that saw that match that night said that match was better. When
they saw the match,
apparently the people in the back who were watching on the monitors, I guess that had better lighting. I don't know, but a lot of people said that that match was better than the match that we saw.
From the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Ted DiBiase put in its notice the other day that he is leaving for WCW when his contract expires in August. DiBiase has agreed to a 3-year deal to work as an announcer and manager. DiBiase has a Lloyd's of London disability deal and is supposed to collect a major lump sum on that soon. Oh, real $1 Million Man. After suffering a career-ending neck injury a while back, so he won't be wrestling in WCW, but he may take occasional bumps as a manager. Instead of building up to his departure in August, WWF decided to just write him off TV immediately, thus the added stipulation for the pay-per-view.
Jesus Christ. They just said, you know what? Fuck all this. We're not going to waste our time. We're not going to big you up. We're not going to give you a big send-off. You're going to the competition. Fuck you, guy.
Let's decrease your value as you're leaving.
Sat, would it be stereotypical of me to ask you what is a Lloyd's of London disability?
No. It's not. You know what? It's not stereotypical at all. So basically, in the UK, we have a thing called Lloyd's Bank, and I think on the offshoot they had like a disability, financial thing you can claim, that benefits you can claim disabilities. And I think the first one that was famous for doing it was Mr. Perfect and Rick Rude. And I think you can add Hawk or Animal was also collecting them benefits. But the one that abused it the most was Mr. Perfect, because he kept dipping in and out. I'm out of retirement. McMahon, you have to buy him a contract if you want me to wrestle. Oh, no. My back's killing again. Oh, man. That's literally what happened in 96. He literally went to him, McMahon, you have to give me a lump sum of money for me to get out. No, WCW, buy me out my contract. And apparently, after what Mr. Perfect did, they never offered any wrestler any Lloyd's of London again. You know who suffered the most for that? Bret Hart and his concussions.
Oh, damn. What a twist of fate.
Yeah, so basically, when it got like to 2000 time, Lloyd's of London, nope, we've been stupid one too many times. The amount of wrestlers that cashed in on it. And then after that, Bret Hart's like, man, I got concussion, I'm not feeling well, I had a stroke. No, sir. You are.
Damn, ain't that a kick in the head?
Right? So that is the more...
Of course, Drunk Guy JJ.
So yeah, Romeo, that was like the sad part of the story. Like they were abusing it for years, and the one person
Damn.
that actually genuinely needed
Crazy.
it,
I learned something today.
he got turned down. Yeah,
I mean, technically they probably all needed it though, because they're all no longer here, besides Brett and DiBiase.
But yeah, Lloyd's of London is still a thing, but they're not offer it to wrestlers anymore.
So the strap match. Thank you for that information, by the way.
Oh,
They
thanks
didn't-
for asking.
They didn't bother putting the In Your House set together again. Like you guys just use a house show set. Savio was laying that strap in. Pause. Austin returned the same. Both guys were going at it. We learned that Savio was 31-0 in strap matches. Wow.
Why would he have so many goddamn Caribbean strap matches?
I was thinking that. How did JR know?
He said Hugo Savinovich told him.
So the one he wear the
Whipping that
shirt.
ass.
See what you did there.
The one he wear the shirt.
Coquito, Peligro. That's Hugo Savinovich, right? In Triple R.
Austin tied up Savio's neck with the strap, dragging him to touch the turnbuckles, but Savio touches them as well, right behind him. Both fight and struggle over the last turnbuckle, which Savio runs into after Austin whips him into the corner by accident, in quotation marks. 21 minutes, 22 seconds. Big pop for Savio. Ted is absolutely stunned. He's done in the WWF. Steve leaves frustrated, and Savio on the mic sings na 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 hey goodbye. Which I
Guys,
think
was that the
they actually had
debut?
the song playing in the
Yeah,
background.
they played the
Yes,
song.
they did.
Man will pay the rights.
Exactly.
That was the
Right
debut,
for that.
Was that the debut of the song?
Yeah, I think that was the first time they played it. Yep.
Guys.
Go ahead.
No, Romeo, you go
Okay.
ahead. I'll go after you.
I may have the high watermark here, but I love the physicality. Maybe the most hard-hitting match in the Monday Night War so far yet in True Rewind history. Both guys were innovative in that we haven't seen anything like this in the Monday Night War yet. We were supposed to with Taskmaster and Brian Pillman, but we know how that ended.
That didn't turn out well, Booker man.
For its time, this was fun. And even now, to this day, still holds up. The crowd, they got into the drama late, the slapping the fourth turnbuckle late. They could have been more into it earlier on. If Steve Austin was Steve Austin at this time, they would have been into this from the start, beginning to the end.
Yes.
I'm giving this 4.5 stars.
Wow.
I love this. Dave Meltzer gave this 4 stars. Drunk Guy?
I wasn't going to 4.5, but I was definitely. This is definitely
Strap
a
match
4-star
rating.
match. Strap match rating. Actually, the strap gets an extra half a star. Pause. 4 stars for sure. Thank God, for seeing how last year, the last show ended to getting that a huge step up. Very physical match. I honestly expected no less between them since every match they've had since he came to WWF from Stone Cold. They've been beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
So definitely a physical match. Great match, still holds up as Romeo said. Very enjoyable. Saying it now, definitely match of the night. So classic.
Sat.
Guys, I'm with you in that. For me, I wrote it down. I don't know why I was a bit prejudiced. I was a bit shocked. I don't know why, because both guys are a tremendous performance. But I gave it 4 stars as well. I wrote down how Savio Vega is an unsung hero of the new gen era. I did put a LOL JR saying he's never lost a Caribbean strap match. But for me, I feel like it was a breakout moment for Savio Vega in a weird way, because he was made to look like a smart babyface. And that could have been a jumping off point for his career. But yet, I'm happy
Speaking of jumping off.
Yeah. Back when Austin kicked knees, back before the knee brace days.
I have
Austin
never
was
seen this in
jumping
my
about.
life from Steve Austin.
Listen,
Looking like Dante Martin. Looking like Dante Martin out
Top,
here.
top flight Steve
Top line.
Austin.
Mile high. So yeah, Savio Vega, for me, he looked like a smart babyface, because usually in this situation, the babyface is kind of dumb and you expect him to lose. It used to be the other way around. The babyface is slapping the 4 corners and the heels doing it behind. But Savio Vega was gutsy. His performance was great. It's very physical. It's a shame that they didn't do much with the Savio Vega as a babyface, because he will end up, another sports almanac moment, turning a heel next year in 1997, because they just let him flounder. Yeah, put on the Puerto Rican arm.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm still proud.
Yeah. Savio should have been jumping off point for an intercontinental title spot or something like that. So, the spot that Marc Mero's in, you need more baby faces, to challenge, to face the Triple H's and stuff like that.
He never
But
had
yeah,
a title.
what did you guys
Whole
think?
run, right?
SP.
No, he didn't. He didn't have a title run. I really enjoyed this match. Definitely. I felt like, Savio Vega, they always kept him at a certain pace. So I wouldn't say this was like a breaking out moment for him, but this is definitely the breakout moment for Stone Cold Steve Austin. This had the physicality that we would know and grow accustomed to seeing from him. Him and Savio Vega just had great chemistry with one another. And I feel
he doesn't lose anything losing this way. Sorry to
No. He doesn't take a pinfall loss, doesn't take a submission loss. He loses because the guy hit 4 corners before him. So it protects him very well. I think this was the best use of the 4-corner tapping in a strap match that I've seen. Pretty much, I would say the only strap match better than this is Sting versus Vader from 1992. But this is like the peak. This is the peak of strap matches in WWF, WWE. I gave this 4 stars as well. I feel like this is the reason why Vince is like, okay, we can't give Hunter the King of the Ring.
Yeah.
We're going with Stone Cold Steve Austin. He showed himself here.
Question: SP3 is Savio Vega your uncle? Because I couldn't help watching the match to see a little bit of a SP3ism in him.
I live in the Bronx, and he is from the Bronx, to be fair. But I'm only a third Puerto Rican. I think I would have more Puerto Rican in my blood if Savio Vega was a cousin of mine.
We see Shawn Michaels chatting on AOL, struggling to find the letters on the keyboard.
I need that hat.
That was awkward. Him just sitting there, and he didn't do the trademark one press of a keyboard.
One press.
Yeah, he just started looking like a creeper, like that teenage girl's right there.
You can see him. You can see him typing A/S/L. You could see him.
Oh my god.
H-Flex location.
And he was like,
oh my god.
T with the F. God.
I never understood that gimmick. I never understood that gimmick at the time because he's supposed to be cool and hip. So how the fuck you do not know how to use a computer?
I think cool and hip would be, you don't know how to use a computer. That's for nerds.
That's for nerds. I'm a sexy boy.
I don't need a computer.
Listen, I cringe at the fact that I used to mimic his dance moves as a 7-year-old. It took me a 31-year-old man to realize those are not moves to hit the ladies with, or even to walk down the street. Even he's just
and just a sexy boy. Sexy boy.
Next up, speaking of sexy boys, Vader versus Yokozuna.
These are two sexy boys.
Sexy meat machines.
We saw Raw from 7 weeks ago where Vader destroyed Yokozuna's leg. Yokozuna went to fat camp in real life. They announced Yokozuna as still the same weight, 641 pounds. But from the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Yokozuna returned having lost 33 pounds.
Oh, look at this guy.
Dave Meltzer says at his size, Dave says it's not even noticeable.
Jesus,
Dave.
He sound like you.
Sweet Jesus. Oh my God. Dave.
After he works his pay-per-view, he's expected to return to the Duke weight loss clinic for another 4 weeks. This match, they tease charging at each other from a 3-point stance and a sumo stance, but Vader keeps faking out. Third time, Yoko finally knocks him over. Yoko gets pretty gassed quick after. Goes for a bonsai drop. Cornette tries to attack him. Cornette brings it to the ring. Headbutts. Goes for the bonsai on him. Vader pulls Cornette to safety. Attacks Yoko's leg. Vader bomb for the win in 8:55. Yoko distracted by Cornette means dirty finish. I gave this 1.25 stars. Melts gave this 2.5 stars. Sid?
I gave this 2 stars. This was okay for what they were capable of here. This was 2 big guys, a battle of the behemoths. Yokozuna put in a good effort, but you could tell he's on the last legs of his career. His weight is kind of fluctuating too much, and Vader did his best to look intimidating. And I like the finish with Jim Cornette getting involved. So, like I said, 2 stars.
Sat.
Yo, I'm so gassed. Me and Delv Meltzer just gave the same star rating. I also gave it 2.5 stars. So basically, you could tell the whole posturing for like a sumo standoff was to kill time. They're like, how long is our match again? Oh, you got 7 minutes. Let's do 4 minutes of stalling and 2 minutes of action. It's legit reminding me of Brock Lesnar and Goldberg at WrestleMania 20, where they're just stalling for ages. But it wasn't as long and as unforgiving and you know, terrible. Yokozuna played a good fiery baby face. I also wrote down if both men were in their prime, like 1983, it would have been a banger of a match. Just two big guys slapping the crap out of each other, stiff shots. Because you know Vader would have tried stiff shots, and Yokozuna being Samoan, he would have crushed his nuts.
He's not playing that.
He would have headbutted him. That's the worst thing.
He can smell his own gear, yeah. And Cornette did his best to cover Yokozuna's shortcomings, but you can see Yokozuna was over like the ring or on the ropes, just breathing hard. I'm like, dude, you've barely broken the sweat. But Yokozuna played a great, you know, fiery baby face. Vader, this is before, you know, the Shawn Michael gate, so he still had his confidence and, you know, looked like a big badass, a monster heel, as we say. But yeah, I gave it 2.5 stars because it didn't outstay his welcome. It did what it needed to do, which put Vader over, and if it did enough moves to forgive the fact that it wasn't much of a match.
Drunk guy.
The illusion.
2 stars. Yeah. 2 stars. It did what it could do. I mean, Yokozuna is done. Yokozuna is done for at this time. And I feel like he put as much effort in this match as he could. They should have kept his ass off TV for a while. If they knew they were just going to send him back to Fat Camp, they could have. This match was not needed. This match wasn't needed. But I guess they did it to me.
Wasn't Vader in fact Fat Camp as well? So Vader was.
Yes, he would. He would eventually. Right? Yo, they look.
I said like Vader.
Since we
no,
you said Yokozuna,
well.
but the way you said it made me think of the movie Heavyweights, and like Vader is the main character, and Yokozuna is Goldberg from Mighty Ducks. Like they're the grown up version.
When he got kicked out and everything, basically that's what it feel like. They kicked. He disappeared a little bit. It's found out he was kidnapped by Ben Stiller. But anyway, it's a heavyweight movie. But yes, 2 stars was what it was. Yeah.
This King of the Ring commercial, wow, was a lot.
Right?
Yeah, I was like,
Question.
What the fuck?
Guys, I got a question. Was the devil Vince?
No.
It should have been.
It could have.
It looked like Vince. That's what I'm asking. It looked like Vince. It wasn't Vince.
Nah, that guy had a whole goatee and everything. That was Vince.
Yeah,
but that looked painted on. You know, Vince can paint on.
That is true. That is true.
Let's go through this shot by shot. You got the king enjoying a nice dinner. Turkey.
I was choking on the chicken or choking on food.
Yeah, King choking on the chicken. How appropriate.
Right?
You got these kids begging for food. King is like, no. And then King chokes and goes to what appears heaven, where there are plenty of white girls. King.
See how this and
clearly
this King and everybody.
Clearly, this is what Jerry the King Lawler thinks heaven looks like.
Oh, and being a Memphis guy, of course he runs into Elvis and some other character. Is that King Kong?
Well, but what I was trying to figure out, what I was trying to figure out with this guy is like, is that supposed to be Don King? He's fucking alive.
Then some characters pass judgment on him. I don't know why this pharaoh has a headset on.
And they're announcers.
And then he gets sent to hell, and here's the devil.
Vince McMahon, no?
Nah.
It's got a hair. It's Vince's hair. That's like Vince's hairline. Guys, no?
It's close. It's close. I can see why you say that.
Funny? It was funny. It probably could be Vince how they were a commentating team. It might be. It might be.
We never seen Vince with a beard like this.
Yeah, but that looks painted on. Even the eyebrows look fake as well. It looks like
the eyebrows definitely do look fake. Yeah. I wouldn't put it past them. You got something to look up for next episode, Romeo.
They also announced this will be the time where they do this rematch, Shawn versus Bulldog, and we get to see this match that we didn't see on the pre-show. Smoking Guns are the new tag champs.
Man, thank God they improved their graphics because this shit looks horrible. It looks like the King of the Ring symbol is like sideways. It's clearly photoshopped the Bulldog, Diana, and Michael's in front of. screen too.
Diana looks like she's trying to tell us a story to tell.
All that charisma on that picture, man, just screaming through, guys.
From the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Vader looks to be the favorite to win King of the Ring. But WWF feels like he hasn't gotten over as a killer heel, like they hoped he would. They're blaming it on his weight, which,
of course,
which Dave says has gotten a little out of control. But he also says it's kind of hard to get over as a monster heel when you're not pushed like one. Vader has been doing clean squash jobs to Ultimate Warrior in house shows for weeks, for example.
Are you fucking kidding me?
And then people wonder why things hasn't changed to this day. This guy does shit and he goes, it's your fault what you don't get over. Your fault.
Yeah, we're having you lose to a guy who only has one move. Every house show. Yes, this is your fault. This is your fault.
You know the saddest thing of all is, if Warrior didn't leave, it would have been worse. We'd have seen it on TV. Then it'd be like, why are you losing in a minute? Suck. You smell. Is that your glove?
God damn it. Gishi Dadan saying, did y'all talk about Owen being on AEW games and tournament? We did touch on it as we saw Owen in this show of In Your House, Beware of Dog. We will talk about it some more on True Hill Heat 144 on Saturday with our special guest Chris Van Vliet, and me and Sat are going to be talking about it in about an hour and a half over on the Wrestling Daily YouTube channel, so check in on that for sure.
They spoil us showing the King of the Ring graphic.
I know. Literally, we don't have to watch Monday Night Raw. I feel like I'm watching fucking Nitro. Like they're giving away so much of Monday Night Raw.
This might as well be 56 and 57.5.
We see footage of Raw where Ahmed gets knocked out by Owen Hart using a cast.
Boy.
Ahmed Johnson. And Goldust says he needs mouth to mouth.
Do we have any backstage information of how this pissed off Ahmed Johnson, please?
Nothing from Wrestling Observer Newsletter, but we did see Ahmed
lose his mind.
Spear this guy.
You know, when I was young, I used to think it was Bret Hart who got squashed through the door. Because it used to be like the intro for Raw, and you see Ahmed push someone in the pink and black. And I was like, Bret Hart got knocked through the door.
Oh, man.
It was only when I got older and I saw the thing, I was like, that was like Bob Holly with a mustache, but it's not him. You know? But
it looked like a chubby Barry Horowitz.
In Goldust's defense, that mouth to mouth did resuscitate Ahmed Johnson.
It did in actuality resuscitate Ahmed Johnson. So Ahmed Johnson owes his life to Goldust.
Yeah.
Looking at drunk guy. Goldust versus Undertaker for the IC title in a casket match. Taker appears behind Goldust to start. Probably not.
Exactly. Goldust.
Taker's coming for that ass. That ass.
The golden ass.
That golden ass. Just standing there.
Undertaker with a tombstone next to the casket. JR says, "This is it," which means surely it is not it.
Surely it means this match is not over.
Taker goes to open the casket, and Mankind is in the casket. Mandible claw on the Undertaker. Mankind closes the lid on a passed out Undertaker, locks the casket after, and still IC champ. 30 finish, 12 minutes, 36 seconds. Smoke comes out of the casket as Mankind and Goldust exit. Paul Bearer opens the casket. Well, first he's like, what's going on? Then he opens the casket to shock. No, Undertaker. He cannot believe it.
He's gone.
He starts crying. And then the lights go out, this time as planned. I gave this match 2 stars. Meltzer gave this 2.5 stars. Sat?
Oh man, I guess I was the most forgiving. I gave this match 3 stars, kind of like the same as the Vader and Yokozuna match. They didn't outsay their welcome. They did their moves. So for me, what was I gonna say? It was a rare use of a proper coffin. Romeo, do you have a picture of the coffin they used? Because they call it casket, but so usually the casket they use is like super sized and it goes really deep. They use like an actual coffin, which is quite small and is what you use when someone actually dies. The WWE one's kind of gimmicked to fit the agenda, so I thought that was kind of interesting. I like they used a coffin cam, to see on the inside, which will come in handy when you guys review King of the Ring, because you see Mankind coming out and doing a mandible claw, and they do a quick, speed up into the coffin. I thought Undertaker hung a bit too low for that tombstone by Goldust. I was a bit worried he didn't break his neck because he was kind of swinging a bit, underneath. I was like, oh, it's isn't it? But he did okay there. And for me, the highlights were Undertaker doing a huge leg drop in old school, and Goldust did his best to get the big man over. And Paul Bearer's expression, he's gone, and then Marlena, she was looking like a smoke screen,
smoking the stogie.
Smoking the stogie.
Smoking the stogie.
Don't sell it.
She's not selling anything there.
She should be selling that ass. But
whoa. Okay.
New Jack,
all right, Brock Lesnar. Relax, Brock Lesnar.
Eat that New Jack's groceries.
Relax, Brock Lesnar. Come on.
Guys,
I ain't sure her mind.
Romeo, you heard what New Jack said about Terry? You heard
what New Jack said to Terry?
About Terry, because there used to be a thing.
No.
So, you heard.
Yes.
You heard.
Yes.
So, Terry Reynolds has a kink where she likes to blade herself while she eats out ass. She
likes to do what?
She eats ass.
Oh.
She's eating that New Jack's ass to the point where she had something around her mouth, apparently a discolourment around her mouth because she was licking so much. And she liked to blade as well. She used to like blading while she did it. You even have pictures of her blade. Like, he wasn't chatting BS. He actually had pictures. If you want to do some Googles, in the dark or private, whatever, there's some images you're gonna see. Not very pleasant. She's bleeding like she's doing a great Ric Flair impression. Blonde hair, blood everywhere, and she went to town. She even sued his ass for liable, for scandal. New Jack said it. They used to date briefly. She couldn't get enough of him.
He's educating me on this True Rewind. I've learned so many things.
E for education.
Once you go black, you're gonna need a wheelchair. In her case,
listen, you need a wheelchair and some stitches. Yeah,
head wrap.
Drunk guy, what'd you think about this main event?
Going into this match, I had no high expectation because, for God's sakes, it's Undertaker and Goldust at this time. It was cool. At this point, we knew where Undertaker was going, and clearly they already ruined it for us, showing us what Ahmed Johnson and Goldust were going. So we know Undertaker wasn't winning the belt. But the ending with Paul Bearer acting like, oh my God, Taker's gone, he's gone. That was fun. That was cool. But 2 1/4. This is the main event of this show. So whatever main event. The show was just
I gave this 2 stars. I thought that they got in all their stuff. The ending was a lot of fun. Mankind is he's just looked incredible in these first 2 months of his run in WWE. He just always gets the better of the Undertaker, and I love to see it. And I loved seeing him close the show in his deranged self, where he could have just went the easy path, the shorter path down the entranceway. He went all around the ring, showing his mandible claw fingers, and then walked off behind Goldust.
Speaking of Mankind, from the Wrestling Observer newsletter.
Oh boy.
During a segment on WCW Saturday Night, advertising WCW as where the big boys play, they showed a lengthy, several-minute clip of Cactus Jack losing to Kevin Sullivan in a match from 1994. Dave Meltzer says it actually doesn't have anything to do with Mick Foley's WWF status, but there's bad blood there, because Foley is still in a lawsuit with WCW over the match where he lost his ear. So WCW aired the footage of Foley getting beat up and jobbing just to be petty. Dave says the show is only an hour long and calls this a colossal waste of valuable airtime, and lists dozens other various things they could have done instead, from hyping the new 2-hour Nitro coming up, airing video packages to get over new guys like Rey Mysterio Jr., who we're about to see, pushing all their upcoming house shows. But nope. They just wasted time shitting on a guy who doesn't work there anymore instead.
WWF would learn a lot from WCW as far as being petty.
And other notes from these 2 shows, Shawn Michaels was off his game and spent half the match jawing with a heckling fan at ringside. Very pissed off. After the match, Michaels threw another tantrum when the music cue was missed. This was edited out of the replays. They also changed the finish to a couple of the matches they redid. Yokozuna beat Vader the first night, but Vader won when they redid it. And
Wow.
and Goldust beat Undertaker in the casket match the first night. It took 6 heels teaming up on the Undertaker to beat him. The second night, they had Mankind cost the match.
And
I-
Vader's not a killer here. Why? Vader's not a killer here. Why?
I heard that they didn't tell Mankind that the lights went out and he was under the ring, and that's why they had to change the finish to
Oh my God.
Goldust and Undertaker in the blackout. That's what I heard. I think that's the story that Mick Foley always tells, that he was under the ring and no one told him about the blackout because he's under the ring and it always looks blacked out there.
Let's wrap up this in your house. That's funny. 1 ref bump, 4 dirty finishes, and Hunter S. Helmsley is 0-1. So that's the current call.
That's gonna be a Redding stat. That's gonna be the Redding stat. I love it.
I like that guy.
Match of the night, unanimous. Savio versus Austin.
Of course.
Yeah, by far.
Worst match?
Oh, you want to do worst match? What's worst
Yeah,
match?
why not?
What was your worst match?
I guess according to the star, it's Mark Mero versus Triple H, right? According to my star system for the show. So.
For me, it's Vader Yoko.
Yeah, I go with Vader Yoko for me.
Yo, wait, I gave both of them the same. You know what? I'm still going with Triple H and Mark Mero because it's longer.
Damn.
I nearly lost my life watching that. It was the first match, and I was like, I can't cope. So slow.
It's funny how you gave that the worst match of the night, but you're the only one that enjoyed that ending.
Listen, because it's realistic.
That was his best part of the match, man.
Yeah, it was. The match ended. Oh, not going through all the false finishes. Yeah, why not? It was nice and clean. It did what it needed to do.
MVP of the night, I am going to give to Mankind for taking out the Undertaker, costing him the match at the end, and he looked like a big star at the end there. Sid?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to give it for, Stone Cold for the star-making performance, Savio Vega, pulling out a great babyface performance. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Mankind. Mankind's my boy, and he looked good. He closed out the night, his first pay-per-view that he's on, and he's kind of the difference maker in the main event. So it worked for me.
Drunk Guy?
Yeah, I was gonna do the mandible claw sign, but I'm gonna throw it up a gang sign, so I'm just gonna say Mankind.
Set.
I'm gonna go with the 2-thing formation that women love so much.
Oh my
So let's
God.
go for. I'm gonna go for. Listen, honorable mention for Savio Vega, but I'm gonna go for Mankind because he looked dominant. I even put down in my notes. That's the most dominant a heel has looked against the Undertaker since Jan Gonzalez. That Rumble performance '93.
Hey, to be fair, Mankind didn't need chloroform.
No, he didn't. All he needed is 2 fingers.
Not this
That's his
time.
wife.
Oh my God. LVP/Jabroni of the night, I am going to give to Ted DiBiase for voluntarily putting his career on the line and then losing it.
Yeah, dumbass.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is another one that might be unanimous. $1 Million Man, why did you put your career on the line?
reason.
Especially considering the fact you were one of the few people who could have saw the strap match on Sunday night, and Savio wasn't there. So why would you put your career on the line with the lights on? Like, Savio was at a disadvantage. Like, why would you put it on the line when the lights are going to be on?
Here's why he's a dumbass. He's $1 million man, and he didn't pay off the referee.
Good point. Not thinking.
So unanimous all around?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll put our thumbs out.
Should rename it the DiBiase Award.
Oh.
Nah, he hasn't won too many. He hasn't won too
It's
many.
a Hulk Hogan award, if anything.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
And in 3, 2, 1, it'll be thumbs up or thumbs down for this In Your House number 8, Beware of Dog. 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness. Thumbs downs. Unanimous. We'll rate this on a scale of 0 to 10. I thought this was just a 1-match show. Really, really good match. I will give this a 2.7. Drunk Guy?
2.
Sid?
I gave it a 3.5 out of 10.
Pat?
You're right. I gave it a 4 stars.
2.5
Okay, my bad.
friendly,
Yeah,
man.
2.5. There we go.
Yeah. 2.5.
Whoa. You guys are talking at the same time. What do you say, Drunk Guy?
2.5. That's what he just said. Perfect.
Oh, you got influenced?
No. I gave it a
No,
match of
no.
4 stars. I can't give it a 2 star. I gave a match over 4 stars, and every match is a 2
Yeah, you
stars
can.
out.
Romeo. So
A 4-star
basically,
match.
Pat, what do you give it?
no, I'm giving it 2 stars. For the simple fact is, even the rubbish
This is
matches,
from 0 to 10.
From 0 to 10, yeah, I'm giving
Okay.
it 2. It's 2 because it's an incomplete show. You go on a Wikipedia, you're like, wait, where's Ahmed versus Jerry Lawler? You know, where's Warrior versus Owen Hart? So for that very reason, it's an incomplete show. So I can't give it a full star rating when it's an incomplete show. You give me bits and pieces. It's glorified package, pay-per-view package. It's when the whole show is glorified. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, 2, even the worst matches, then that stays welcome. If it was long and boring, damn. So yeah.
Let's guess how many pay-per-view buys this did. For reference, In Your House number 7, Good Friends, Better Enemies, did 150K. Drunk guy?
100. I know this went down. There's no way in hell. I'm gonna say 125.
C3?
You said what did Good Friends Better Enemies do again? I'm gonna say 135.
Is that?
I'm gonna go drastically lower, 85K.
Oof.
Just
Oof.
the top guys left, so you know,
It's true.
who knows how they've been booking the shows throughout the weeks if it made people want to see it in, you know, South Carolina.
You guys are making me do math I don't want to do.
Sorry, dude.
Just
I
say the
think
number.
drunk guy is the
Just
closest.
say the number.
Drunk guy is the closest. Drunk guy is the closest. It did 110K.
Okay, that's
So,
fair.
Down by a lot. 40K.
A lot, by a whole lot.
That is all for In Your House number 8. Beware of dog. Ruff ruff.
That was a lot to unpack, and True Rewind episode 57 will be the first of 2 hours of WCW Nitro. So we'll see the fallout from Beware of Dog on Raw. We're gonna see the first 2-hour Nitro on WCW with a big debut as well. And we want to thank Set E, the monster heel, for joining us on True Rewind episode 56. Set, please let the people know where they can find you on social media, anything you're doing on YouTube, sir, and what you got going on.
I'm a lazy bastard. I don't do much, but I'm on Twitter at SatNext2. Tonight, for me, because I'm in the UK, it's now 7 o'clock. In an hour's time, it's going to be me and the True Heel Phenom, you know, talking about the news and the headlines on Wrestling Daily. Please pop over there and check us out. Romeo, Drunk Guy JJ, it's been an honor doing the show with you guys. I want to campaign my return. I want to do Bash in the Beach with you guys so we can you know, slaughter Hulk Hogan and talk about how great
I would say you already got the right shirt, so hey, absolutely.
Exactly.
I also want to campaign my return for Survivor Series 96 because I want to talk about Shawn Michaels getting his ass booed. Those are all in the sports almanac.
Look at him going into business for himself. Going into business for himself.
I'll be a regular on here.
Listen, I like the vibe. Listen, I've been watching you guys before I came on the show, and I like what you guys do. I say representation is key. You guys are one of the best to do it. Please go out there. I love the fact that your brand is growing. You're getting excellent guest stars on your show. So you guys are representing. Here, me in the UK, I'm one of the rare people. Yes, black wrestling fans do exist in the UK, just to let you guys know. But also in America, you guys are doing a great job. Please keep doing what you're doing. Please don't stop. Continue to hustle. I love seeing the growth in you guys. And it's been an honor doing the show with you guys.
Thank you, brother.
Out. Thank you, sir. And Drunk Guy JJ, please let the people know where they can see you everywhere and on sites that are not existent anymore.
You know, I was about to say, I don't even have to do it. He already put us over like crazy shit. I don't even have to put the non-existent sites, but you can follow us, me, on Instagram, Hacksaw_J_Duggan, Twitter, Drunken Master JJ, Facebook, my name is my name. If you do not know my name, you don't need to add me. So therefore, I won't be saying it. The gang is everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Okay, I'll throw in one. Pornhub. You know, that's what we do, man. Trail heat, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
And Romeo, let them know where they can find you.
True Heel Romeo on Twitter and Instagram, right here on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. Hey, check us out later tonight. Rated Raw Superstars. They gave us a good match to look forward to. Yeah,
I know. Right? Happy day.
It's hot shotted, but hey, we'll take it.
Oh, happy day.
Romeo,
yes.
you're part of the Cologne family.
Huh?
You're part of the Cologne family.
I am. I am related to Carlito, Carlos, all of them in some kind of way.
Primo and Epico. All of them. All of them. You can find me on the Twitter machine.
Oh, wait. NX3.
Oh, get out of here. Get out of here.
He was like, quick plug. You can find me on the Twitter machine at TrueHeelSP3. Like Sat said, you can see me later today with Sat Mocha Mondays on Wrestling Daily YouTube channel, as well as on Wednesday on Wrestling Daily with Alex McCarthy. You can, of course, like this video, share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, what the hell are you doing? Put the subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified. Once the stream is done, you can also check out AE Ramble with myself, Jimmy Macaram, and Marcus Cash, as we reviewed last week's AEW Dynamite, the Grand Slam preview show. You can also check out Impact Wrestling Victory Road review for Blunt Impact special with Ness and Chris G, as they reviewed the big show, the Impact Plus special ahead of Bound for Glory, which was a really good show in my opinion. And of course, this coming Saturday, one of the biggest episodes of True Heel Heat yet, True Heel Heat 144 with special guest Chris Van Vliet. So there is so much to enjoy on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. So make sure you support, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified, and check out next week for True Rewind episode 57 as we review the May 27, 1996 episodes of Raw and Nitro. So for our special guest, Sat E, for Drunk Guy JJ, for Romeo, it is me, your True Heel Phenom SP3. This has been True Rewind, episode 56. In your house, beware of dog. We are signing off until next time.